Hey guys, welcome back to Sinclair Garage. I know it's been quite a while. Haven't had any new content for quite a few weeks, if not months now. Basically, since the very last video, which I don't even know what it was off the top of my head now, we just been enjoying summer, whether it be boating or hiking or vacations or driving a Mustang, just kind of been enjoying. I haven't really done much. Now the weather's getting cold. I got a few projects I need to get knocked out, so I'm gonna go ahead and start throwing some new videos up for this winter. First thing, some issues that I've ran into that I'll share is Mustang. Had an issue, and I put an Instagram post up if you saw it, where I kept cutting. I'm sorry for my voice, I have a bit of a cold. Basically, had an issue with the Mustang where I kept cutting upper radiator hoses. And replaced the hose. I even went as far as moving the radiator over, like wallowing out the holes for the mounts of the radiator just a little bit and shifting it to the left to get it away from that fan. And I just could not, and I even popped another one. And luckily I only got lost or stranded, only got stranded once, so. And luckily I was pretty close to civilization where my wife could run me the parts to fix it. So after the last one I cut, man was I frustrated. So I noticed that the motor mounts had a little bit of cracking in the rubber. So I said, I'm just going to say, screw it, I'm going to replace the motor mounts. It has to be it. They look like they're getting deteriorated. Maybe they had too much flex. Well, upon further inspection, let's pull these guys out here. Upon further inspection, that's supposed to be together. So, flipped around here, like that. So that was why, and that was the driver's side mount, and that was why I kept hitting, or that's why when I gave it torque or gave it a little bit of gas, the engine would rock up and it would hit the upper radiator hose, make the fan hit the radiator hose. So I don't know if you can tell on these. Yeah, you really can't see, but on that writing there, that says Fomoco, which these are factory original mounts from '67. Both of them were. They both had the Fomoco name on them. And so I got digging. Those mounts are kind of super rare. You can't buy replacement Fomoco ones. You can get replacement ones from Advance Auto, which are the part number is like 1151, I think. So I ordered a couple new ones from Rock Auto, got them in. For the life of me, could not get those things to fit. So at this point, I'm getting frustrated. So why won't they work? So I called Rock Auto. They said they should fit. It's a '67 Mustang. They all used them from '66 to '70, I think, '70 or '71. So I sent them back, got my money back out of them. Must have been something wrong with them. Could get one to fit, but not the other. And I went to our local Napa, got another set, and they're Napa brand set. They had to order them, of course, so they got them in for me. Put them in, still didn't fit. I could get one, I could rock the engine one way, the ratchet strap, get one in, and I got thinking, this can't be right. If I'm putting that much pressure on the mount, it can't be it. So, jumped on the internet, which I probably should have done to begin with, and Googled that, motor mounts for '67 Mustang 289. So basically what I'm trying to get to is, long story short, '67 Mustang 289, if its factory mounts are not the same as a other year 60 to 70 or 71, I can't remember what that cutoff year, but you get my gist. So if you have a '67 and you need motor mounts, you need to get the frame saddle mounts for a 66, 68, 69, or 70 289 and put those in your Mustang. I ordered them from West Coast Classic Cougar, put those in. I got the basic mounts that you get from Napa or wherever, the 1151 mounts, and they bolted right in, no problems. So you save yourself some headache. Do a quick Google research. If you have a '67, just watch that. Now you can drill your factory '67 289 mount, which is a big block mount. You can drill them, and you can get a template online. I saw a couple here or there, a few websites. You can re-drill the upper hole to rock that top mount up. So if your mount sits like this, so say your mount sits like this, it needs to sit like this. So basically, if you drill that upper hole back, then like a 1/4 inch or something, but there's templates available, that gives you the ability to run this big block mount on a 289. Now the only other option you have is to find a motor mount off a big block or 289-67 Mustang, which are highly hard to find, and it looks like they're about $100 a piece versus $12 a piece for the other ones. So if you plan on keeping your Mustang and you're not really restoring it to Concourse Edition, in my opinion, that's the way to go. Project number 2, which I'm working on right now. As you can see, the axles are out. After I got the Mustang back together, I've had a kind of a weird groaning going on the back side of this Mustang for the last few times I've driven it, and this bearing was bad. So, thought I heard noise, which is a new bearing, so I hope not, but it was fine. Backing plate. So, I ordered new bearings. I pulled the axles, ordered new bearings, new retainers, and new bearing retainers, and sent these to the local shop, and they pressed them. These would not fit in the throat of my vise or my press because this flange is just too wide. So I took them to the local shop here, had them press off the old bearings, press on the new ones for me. Probably a lot. I mean, you can cut them off, but then you take the risk of nicking your shafts, and just really wasn't worth it. So I just took it to him, pressed off the old ones, pressed on the new ones, and then that's where we are now. I'm cleaning all the surfaces for the gaskets, because it has a gasket for the retainer and then a gasket for the backing plate, brake backing plate to the axle. So I'm doing that now, and then we're going to put the axles back in. So I'll kind of sit you guys up and we'll go through this. Alright guys, a little dark on this side of the Mustang. Something I just kind of glazed over, I guess, on the other side here, which the other side's back together, is on the inside of this is a Ford 8-inch axle. And if you can see right there, you can kind of see the brownish right there. That's an axle seal. So we got to yank that axle seal out, and I have this cool little tool readily available on Amazon or wherever. This one's from Amazon. This one's adjustable, which really helps you to get it in kind of weird spaces, like this one is here. So what you do is kind of get this in here, and I got to kind of play with it here a bit. See, the other side, I had this whole backing plate off, but I was trying not to do that on this end, so I was able to get that off, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. So, anywho, that's what you do. You wrap that hook in around the seal there, and then you just basically pry it out. So I'm going to do that right now. Alright, just to give you a better look here, I was talking about this puller. See how that's adjustable, right? Sorry about light here. So what I was able to do is kick it in here and grab the edge of the seal, and then basically just work its way out. So I'm able just to kind of work my way around the seal and pop it out. And there it is. So there's the old seal. Sorry, I have a headlight on. I'm trying to make this so where it's easier to see. So there's the old seal. And then what I'll do is I'll just come in here and clean this up now, and I'll hammer the new seal in with a big old socket, which I'll show you that. So let me get this cleaned up. Alright guys, new seal goes in like that. What I'll do first is I take a little bit of gasket maker. I put just a little bit on the outside and smear it around. Stick it in the axle tube here, as close to perfect as you can. Now this will be hard to show because I need my other hand, but then I just take this socket here and hit it with a hammer until I beat it in. And something you'll notice is on the inside of this axle tube, you'll see a lip. So basically you just want to put this up to that lip, and if you've done this a few times, you'll know what I'm talking about. Is you can actually feel that hit that lip, and then you're done. It just stops moving, right? I mean, obviously. So that's how you know you're in. So I'm gonna do that, and I'll be back. All right, and you can see it's in. So, and you can kind of feel the back side, and you kind of feel that lip, and you can feel the seal, and you know it's there, and you can tell it just makes a different sound. The seal does.
Like when you're hammering it, you know, it has like a hollow sound, and then once it hits that lip, you can tell it kind of hits hard. Like it's kind of a thud, like you can tell you're in there. So that's in. I've already put the gasket behind the braking plate, so it's done. I just gotta pull these screws back off, pull this seal off, clean it up, and then I think we're just about good. So let's go. Okay guys, everything's cleaned up, all set, ready for the axle. So I got the new seal in, got the seal behind the backing plate, I got this new seal in for the axle retainer, or the bearing retainer. So now I just need to push the axle in very carefully. And you'll notice on these 8 inches, one axle is actually longer than the other. So the longer one is the passenger, or the right side. The shorter one is the left side, or the driver, depending on how you want to call it. Everything looks good. And just as a quick reference, everything that I put in this thing is Timken. The bearings were Timken and the seals were Timken. Now what I do is I try to support this that way it doesn't ride on that seal too much, because you don't want to like damage that seal, because it's actually thicker on this upper side of the axle, and that's what puts that seal. And you want to try and keep this as center as possible, because you want to hit the center of that carrier. Just kind of there. Now you can kind of see how it kind of like plopped in. If you ever put a transmission, it's almost like putting the torque converter on a transmission. So you want to line your backing plate up, because it kind of got to slide under the brake components here. So kind of get that situated as I kind of finish sliding it in. And everything. And it's simple as that, guys. I mean, it's in. And you can see the axles have holes here. I think you can still see that. Let me check the camera. Yeah. There's a hole here in the axle. And what that does, it gives you the ability to put a socket and extension or whatever to put these retaining nuts on. Torque these retaining nuts down to 30 foot-pound. And a star pattern. Again, just to kind of distribute the load a little bit. Even, probably doesn't matter, but it's just the way I've always done it. So that's 30 foot-pound. And we're done. Everything runs smooth. So what you would do next is just reassembly. So we throw the drum on. I already cleaned the inside of these things out when I took them off. Put those back on, put the other side back on, throw your tires back on, and you're done. Basic stuff after that. This thing wrapped up, put the wheels and stuff back on it, torqued, and get it done. So thanks for hanging out. Like this video, subscribe if you like Mustang, Jeep content, truck content, whatever kind of content. And if you have any questions, give me a comment, and we'll see you guys later. Thanks.